What's up, Internet people? Welcome to a festive episode of the Creative Differences Podcast. I'm Dallas, aka the Grinch who saved Thanksgiving. And I told y'all last time it's not Christmas time, so I get the irony of that given today's topic.
Hi, I'm Gabby, and I'm feeling, the Christmas spirit early because we're no longer in an autocratic dictatorship mess.
Oh boy.
And I'm Demi. I wasn't asking where are you Christmas because it's a little too early to ask that, but here we are. Welcome to Creative Differences Podcast. We will be doing a Throwback Thursday today for How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes, the movie turns 20 on Tuesday, November 17th, depending on when you're listening to this, either this upcoming Tuesday, last Tuesday, whatever, today. Depends on when you're
Last
listening.
year, who knows?
Yeah, Either way, the movie turns 20, so we're talking about it, despite the fact that I would rather leave all the Christmas stuff for December.
Sorry, buddy, but they released the movie in November, so you're stuck.
They released the movie back when movies would be in the theaters for 3 months, and they don't do that anymore.
That's true. This movie was popping when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
Made a whole lot of money.
Speaking of when it came out, do you guys remember your first time watching this movie?
Whoa. Before we get into that, please like and subscribe because it'll make your heart grow 3 sizes, but in a safe way.
Yes. Well, actually, there's no safe way for that because it's actually really bad for you.
Of course there is, Gabby. Metaphorically.
It will push down on all your organs.
Gabby, we're in Dr. Seuss world right now.
Oh,
But also,
okay.
if your heart grows metaphorically, that's a good thing.
Oh, metaphorically. I didn't hear the metaphor.
Yeah, that was the safe part, the metaphor. Anyway, let's get into Dr. Seuss's Robin season.
Do you guys remember the first time you saw this movie?
No. I don't remember when I first saw it all the way through, but I know I wasn't young enough that I feel like nostalgic attachment to this movie.
That's unfortunate.
I do.
Yeah.
I do too.
I didn't get that.
I do only because, okay, so the first time we went to Universal Studios was in 1997 or 98.
Okay.
97 or 98, they were filming the movie when we went. And we on the studio tour, they were like, "Oh, we're filming this Dr. Seuss movie. The Dr. Seuss set is right there. Everybody has to be quiet right now." And I was like, "Oh my God, I'm part of film." And I was very excited.
Nice.
And that's why I have such a heartfelt, wonderful attachment to this movie because I was there when it was being filmed.
That's true. You're basically in the movie.
Sure. Yeah, whatever.
You're a Who.
Why not?
I was in Whoville at the time.
I have no, I don't remember at all when my first time watching it was. I just remember I watched it as a kid, and I remember that I really liked this movie as a kid, and I still do. It's so funny. For me, I think of Jim Carrey from my childhood, and I think of The Grinch is one of those movies that comes up in my head.
That's fair. He was really going off with the crazy characters back in the day.
Truly.
I always think of Ace Ventura, but
I always think of The Mask.
That too.
I also,
honestly.
I think of The Mask. I think of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Now that I'm older, I think of Liar Liar, which I love.
Liar Liar is great.
That's a great one. It's funny, this is, out of all those movies we named, this is the only one that I probably should have been watching at that age.
You probably shouldn't have, actually. I don't think any of us really should.
Well, I mean, it's allegedly a family movie.
This movie's a lot.
This movie is grown, and this and The Cat in the Hat are definitely the reasons why the Seuss family no longer allows for people to make live action movies of Dr. Seuss's books. So,
I mean,
also, they went okay, so I remember the animated version. We saw that in elementary school, and it was very short. It was 45 minutes, and they made this into a 2.5 hour movie. And I was like,
no,
how
it's
did
an
they?
hour and 44 minutes.
45.
Holy
2.5 hours. Gabby.
I'm so sorry.
What?
Either way, it was way longer than the animated version.
Well,
and I'm
yeah,
where did they
because
get all this story? Where did they get all this backstory? Why did they
wrote
do
it.
so much with this? I know, but I was like, where did these ideas come from?
Because then it wouldn't be a feature film.
No, I know. I'm just saying, it's we went from just Whoville and Who's and just this random green dude that just doesn't like anybody to his childhood, and he was obsessed with the one pretty lady in town, and then
well, he wasn't obsessed with her. She was obsessed with him, but we'll get to that later. Speaking of the story, we should jump into this.
Yes. I wrote
the
down.
story is.
Oh, you got it?
Oh, I have a synopsis for the story, but you can tell us who made the movie because that's what you're good at.
I love doing that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Directed by Ron Howard. You know Ron Howard. He made Cinderella Man, Da Vinci Code, Solo, Bryce Dallas Howard.
He did make her. He was there for that.
He
He
helps.
participated.
Moving on. Written by Jeffrey Price and Peter S. Seaman. Yeah. They are a writing
Oh,
duo.
that's a name.
Yes, it's Seaman. It's spelled Seaman, like
Sure.
like
Whatever
semen.
you say.
They wrote Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Wild Wild West, Shrek the Third, and some other stuff.
Oh,
But
I
most
love these
importantly,
guys.
for me, is Wild
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 West
Wild
because
West,
I
yep.
love that movie and it gets a bad rap from everyone outside of our generation because y'all some
Yeah,
haters.
I don't understand why people hate it. They're haters.
Definitely
Like,
some haters.
how could you hate them? It's an amazing film.
Yes, fun. Not so fun fact is that these two guys they got nominated for back-to-back Razzie Awards for worst screenplay for
No.
Wild Wild West and How the Grinch Stole Christmas,
No.
which is
Oh, that's
crazy
unfortunate.
because those are
Because How
not
the
bad movies.
Grinch is like well, first of all, Wow Wow West is amazing. And How the Grinch is like a Christmas classic.
Yeah, the Razzies was
Guys,
wilding.
we should get through like this description though.
True. It also stars
Yes,
Jim
ma'am.
Carrey, Jeffrey Tambor, Christine Baranski, Taylor Momsen, Anthony Hopkins, etc., etc. And yeah, that's who's in it. That's who did it. That's who wrote it. And Demi has a summary.
Yes.
Yay.
On the outskirts of Whoville lives a green revenge-seeking Grinch
Revenge seeking.
who plans to ruin Christmas for all of the citizens of the town.
Oh, no, that's what I had. Perfect.
Aw.
So the story, obviously based off of the story written by Dr. Seuss.
Yes, it is.
Tis.
This we don't like Grinch. Is that his species?
I don't know what
It's
it
like
is.
I think
he
it's
his
what
is.
name.
he's been dubbed because
It's
he's
his
grumpy.
yeah, it's
Because
his name,
I don't know what he is.
I guess.
All right, why not? Yeah, he gets bullied as a kid and an adult because people are terrible and xenophobic and capitalist. And he decides to start hitting licks all over Whoville on Christmas. And it's like, yo, it's literally like Dr. Seuss presents Robin Season, and I love it.
This is our second throwback in a row where somebody tries to steal Christmas.
You know
What
what? I'm
is that
cool
like?
with that.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Nightmare Before Christmas.
This story is very much, as Gabby was saying earlier, a very expanded version of the book because that book is obviously very short. We grew up reading it in classes all the time.
That's true. Yeah, they added a bunch of backstory. He had a little crush going on, tried to shave.
That was sad.
Child Jeffrey Tambor was roasting him, and the teacher was laughing, like, yo, what's up with this
What's wrong
place?
with it?
Everybody's terrible.
You're all
Except for
xenophobic.
Martha May.
Yeah.
She was cool.
Well, and his two moms.
Oh, the old biddies.
Oh
Yeah, one of
yeah,
which is
kids
played by
are-
Mindy Sterling.
Okay, that's who that was. I saw Mindy Sterling's name there, and I was like, who is she? She's one of the biddies.
Yeah.
They were cool.
Yes. I mean, yeah, they had to be cool. They, they took in this random child who wasn't theirs because the stork got thrown off course.
Yeah, that was a wild. This movie's pretty wild with some of the lines that they have in it.
Like what?
The stork drops off a baby, and the dude goes to the door. He's like, "Honey, the baby's here." He looks just like your boss.
Oh yeah,
What?
I was like,
that
yo,
one had me dying.
That's terrible, but also
oh my
hilarious.
god, like Universal
That's terrible, but also
Studios
hilarious.
was wilding with this movie.
They had a good time.
There is a lot in this movie, which is why a lot of people weren't fond of it, was because they took this kid's book and like it wasn't like kids movies that we grew up with where like the jokes would kind of go over our head or whatever. Like parents would be like, "Haha, that's clever." Like this is like really overt with its adult jokes.
Speaking of, I just have to bring this up because if I didn't, I would never forgive myself. But like in that same scene when he's like, storking, flying through all the houses, they show a key party,
Yeah.
Which I can't believe they did.
and like, why? Just why?
There's
I want to read
why?
that script.
Right?
No.
Like Ron Howard, Jeffrey
Mr.
Price,
Howitzer.
Mr. Seaman. Can somebody explain why in this child movie, based on Dr. Seuss's book, you decided let's have some who's just swinging or on each other's
Right?
wives for Christmas?
You know what? They definitely went the James Gunn Scooby Doo route, where James Gunn was like, "Let me write a rated R Scooby Doo movie." Like,
Goodness gracious! But hey, it worked out.
And
It's a
then
popular
he
movie.
did. Yeah.
I find this movie absolutely friggin' hysterical.
Yeah, Jim Carrey was going off.
Top of his
Yeah.
game.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of Jim Carrey, characters, because he plays the titular character, the Grinch.
Yeah, he pretty much carries this movie for me because it's mostly just him riffing at a dog and occasionally a child. And it's funny because like this movie, every time I watch it, it kind of just annoys me at first.
Why?
I don't know. Like there's something about it. Like it pushes the line of too goofy for me.
Okay.
And I think even a lot of Jim Carrey's jokes, like they don't hit for me at first, but then I can only resist Jim Carrey's charm for so long before I'm just like, yo, I'm with it. I'm loving this. The kid's adorable. The Grinch is hilarious. When he's like yelling at his echo, and the echo just, you're an idiot.
That's
Yes.
literally one of my favorite scenes.
It's great.
That scene and the scene where after she invites him to the tree lighting party or whatever, and he's just like, I can't possibly fit this into my schedule, and he's going through his schedule, and he goes, dinner with myself. I can't
Get
miss that
canceled
again.
I can't cancel that again.
It's the most millennial existential dread thing ever.
Oh yeah, he's I can push my self-loathing back to 9 o'clock.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why
Oh, the
millennials love it so much.
self-loathing to 9 o'clock. Yes, that's
Uh,
peak millennial.
that joke is just so good, man. It's so good.
Also,
And then like his fashion model scene, like immediately after.
oh yeah, he was working it.
He's so
But
good in
yeah,
this movie.
he's
He's Jim Carrey. Like this is peak Jim Carrey
Jim
to
Carrey
me.
is that dude. Shout out to In Living Color for bringing Jim Carrey to the States.
When nobody else would.
Yeah, black people be saving the day from Jim
I was
Carrey
gonna
to
say
Joe
that.
Biden.
I'm so glad that you said it. Dude, freaking Wisconsin, Philadelphia, Georgia, all those states.
Oh yeah,
Black
Oh,
people
man.
come through.
Yeah, Jim Carrey is amazing in this film. I really like Taylor Momsen in this film as well. Taylor Momsen, who is probably most well known nowadays for Gossip Girl or for the music career.
yeah, she was a little sweetheart.
She was adorable. Oh my
And
gosh.
just this movie. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow,
Oh
She's great.
wow.
She's great.
you beefing with Taylor
She got
Momsen guy?
No.
well no, it's
no,
she
no.
got older and she got real punk.
Yeah, she
Oh,
did.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I respect it.
But I was
Yeah.
watching it again. I was like, oh, she's really good in this movie. She's adorable. She's charming. She's charismatic. You feel for her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She was in a
like,
band called The Pretty Reckless. That's what it's called.
Yeah. And she had the most empathy for the Grinch. It was very sweet. The whole movie. Like she looked into his backstory. Like she was sweetie.
yeah, so I'm gonna find out what's going on. She talked to Martha May, and Martha was thirsting over her memories.
I freaking love Martha May, bro.
Martha was wilding.
Like we've talked about quite a number of thirsty characters over the past couple of months. Martha May is definitely up there.
I
Oh,
don't
definitely.
remember Martha May thirsting.
Christine Baranski as Martha May is
No,
a
no,
delight.
I know who plays Martha May. I don't remember the thirsting.
She thirsts hard throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, they're like
What?
they're giving. First off, Cindy Lou comes to ask her about the Grinch, and the first thing she says is, "What? I didn't have a crush on the Grinch." And Cindy's like, "I didn't ask you that."
Oh,
And also they
God.
had that flashback and immediately she was like, yeah, I wasn't paying attention to him. I was too busy focused on my studies. And the first shot we see of miniature her is her staring at the Grinch while licking a lollipop.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a little weird. But then when he inexplicably lifts that Christmas tree and yeets it out the window, despite being 8 years old, they're all talking about like, the terror, the horror, and then she's like, the muscles.
Yes,
No.
I love that
Yeah.
line.
Oh,
She is-
wow. That's
Yo,
like
Chris-
Gabby level thirst.
I was gonna say, yeah, like if Gabby was
yeah,
a
it
who.
is.
Stop it.
You just said
Christine-
it.
I
You
can
said
say it.
though.
We all say it. That's our.
We're
that's our
just
thing.
say it.
we're
Stop
just hyping you up. We're just
Yeah.
amplifying your voice.
Exactly.
I love that character though, just because like she's so funny because of the amount of thirsting that she does after this character. And it's so great.
Like, I didn't have a crush on him. Who said?
Plus, I love Christine Baranski, man.
She's
I don't
great.
think I don't think there's a movie that I've ever seen her in that I haven't liked her performance. Like she's so great.
I agree. Even when she's just like briefly in Chicago, I'm like, yes, sing the song, Christine.
She's pretty dope.
Yeah, she's one of those actresses who like whenever they want to make Broadway musicals of stuff, she's one of those actresses that I'm like, if you want to cast her in something, I don't mind.
I
I
feel
mean, Mamma Mia, Cruel
Dude,
Intentions, like
She was amazing
she's
in
great.
Mamma Mia.
And then she
She's
straight up
amazing.
like, not Christine, Martha May. She straight up just leaves the mayor for the Grinch at the end.
Yeah, played by
that's great.
Jeffrey Tambor, who I
Yeah.
had such a hard time trying to place throughout the entirety of the film. I was like,
Really?
I know who you
Yeah.
are.
He has such a recognizable voice.
Yeah, it's the voice, but I was like, where
Chase.
do I know this voice from?
I couldn't think of his name. His name
Oh,
is
that's
what
fair.
escaped me.
Yeah, it's always the name. His name doesn't fit him.
I mean, I don't know.
But he's great.
Yeah, he's like very good at playing that kind of character from like
Yeah.
Archer to Arrested Development.
Also, Molly Shannon as Cindy Lou Who's mom.
She was
Oh,
the one who was
that's who
all
that
about the
was.
lights, right?
Yeah, Molly Shannon's hilarious. And then for anybody who is a fan of Bones, little fun fact, TJ Tyne plays Stu Luhu, one of Cindy Lou Who's brothers.
I know that.
Jack Hodgins, King of the Lab.
Was he one of the ones who was up there in the beginning trying to mess with the Grinch's house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, those dumbass kids.
Well, you know, kids.
Kids. It's just like, come on, y'all.
Don't mess with him. You know not to
They're
mess
like, oh,
with
you're
him.
afraid of the Grinch. Like, bro, why are you not afraid of the Grinch?
Why are you taking me up here? You know, this is a dumb decision. We should go.
Ain't no black people in this movie and tell them that's not what to do.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so visuals and sound.
Can we talk about like the costumes in this? Because everybody in this had to have like facial like prosthetics,
Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
won an Oscar for the makeup.
and it
as it
deserved
should.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. They had Jim Carrey in there for like
4 hours.
hours. Yeah, getting that done.
Yeah, and then also their production design is like legit. Like I was
Yep.
watching the movie and I was like, I love the way that this movie looks, like the way that they designed it. Because for something like this, it can't be normal. It can't look like our world. It has to look like something Susical. It has to look magical in its way. And this one looks like it draws from bits and pieces of our world, but kind of makes it zany.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes it very Dr. Susie.
Yeah, which is cool. They did a really good job because I feel like doing that in live action would be so
It's
difficult.
difficult.
Yeah, but they did a really good job with this movie. Sound, I just want to say the soundtrack slaps for anybody who doesn't know.
I didn't
Oh.
know because you were naming a bunch of artists off mic, and I was like, I didn't hear any of these people in the movie. I
Yeah,
guess
because they're not in the movie. Yeah, some of the songs are, but not all of them. But for the ones that are in the song, Taylor Momsen does a cute little Christmas, Why Can't I Find You? But then, Faith Hill's Where Are You Christmas is amazing and a Christmas song that I typically listen to every Christmas.
Wow.
Yeah, shout out to the queen who gave us All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey, because she's also a songwriter on this song.
Of course.
Amazing.
Giving us 2 Christmas slappers right there.
Yep.
I want to tell Mariah Carey to fall back until December, but
No.
I don't want no smoke with Mariah Carey. And I know she'd never hear this anyway.
Yeah. But also
Aw,
the
we don't know that.
artists on the soundtrack include Busta Rhymes, who did Grinch 2000.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah, we're gonna look that up after
What?
this is over. Green Christmas by Bare Naked Ladies, which I believe is in the credits. Smash Mouth has a song on it called Better Do Right. NSYNC did a song called You Don't Have to Be Alone on Christmas, and I freaking love that song. And JC wrote it, and it's amazing.
Of course you do.
It's great. I didn't know about it until a few years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm a huge NSYNC fan, so I was like, this is an NSYNC song I don't know. What is this? I've never heard this before. And then I found out it was on the soundtrack, and I was like, what? I love this movie though. How did I not know?
It's so crazy because if there's one person I don't think of when I think of this movie, it's Busta Rhymes.
Yep.
So I really need to
That
hear
is
the
correct.
song he's on. Also, speaking of songs, their, I guess, rendition of You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch.
Done by Jim Carrey.
Yes, and someone else, right?
No, I
Is it
think it's
just him?
Jim Carrey. On the soundtrack, it's just Jim Carrey.
What? Because, okay, sure, why not? I'm not a huge fan of it in comparison to the original, but also, I spent like 2 decades of my life thinking that James Earl Jones sang the original song.
No, it's the same guy that sings that is the original voice of Tony the Tiger.
Yes, I later found out it was this white man named Thurl Ravencroft,
Mm-hmm.
which,
That is
man,
a name.
what a name.
Yep. He died
Ravencroft?
old, and he was still the voice of Tony
Yes.
the Tiger.
Thurl
That's an
Ravencroft.
amazing. Ravencroft is a wonderful last name.
Like, it sounds like this
Something out of
man,
Harry Potter.
I'm
right? Like, this
stealing
dude
that
has
for
a
something.
haunted house somewhere in England.
And he looked like it too. He was super tall, and he was like had a long face and like really bushy eyebrows and like white hair.
That's an
Yeah.
amazing last
It's
name.
like, bro, you were Tony the Tiger. Like, I thought Mufasa was singing the song, and it was Tony the Tiger the whole time.
It was.
I was shocked, and everyone just let me think that, which makes me think that either I never talked to anybody about that song, or just everyone I had talked to also thought it was James Earl Jones.
I think
mean,
you
that's
just
not
never
a
talked to anybody about this.
Yeah, I was about to say that's not a song that you usually talk to people about, is
It
it?
comes on
Not-
every Christmas.
At least, like, you don't talk about who's singing it though.
I don't know. Like, hey, Mufasa was snapping on this song. Darth Vader was vibing in the studio.
And then you were like, "Nah, it's a white man."
Oh no, that's Tony the Tiger,
White
bro.
with the
What?
H sound in there.
Yeah, if your name is Thurl, you got to pronounce that H in
Mm-hmm.
white.
White.
Thurl.
Oh my gosh!
What
Wow.
a name,
So,
Thurl. It's like Thackeray.
Yep.
oh
Thackeray
God, no, not
Binks.
Thackeray again. Oh God. All right.
Goodness
What's your
gracious.
favorite aspect of this film?
How
Max the dog.
loony it is.
I
You know
love
what it is? It's
Max.
the Grinch and those self-loathing scenes. It's a peak amazing.
When he's like going down his self-loathing schedule.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Can
I
relate.
honestly, I think that that's what Colin was doing when we told him that we were gonna do this at 10:30. He was like, "Well, let me see what I got to do today,"
Stop it.
and then he just started reading self-loathing at 10:25. I can't push that back.
I hope he listens to this
I can't
episode.
cancel on myself again.
Yeah, and that's why he's not here, audience. If you're wondering,
Dallas, you said that your favorite aspect of the movie is Max.
yes, he's adorable and I love him.
Max is great. You're not wrong. It's valid. It's
But
valid.
also Jim Carrey because he's freaking Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it's freaking hilarious. Which
Yep.
I think they, as much crap as people give this movie for being like so adult for a Dr. Seuss movie, I really do think the humor in this movie is like my favorite part of this movie. It's so funny. And I think I really like this movie. I think I love this movie like to watch around Christmas, but it's one of those movies that I don't really think about all throughout the year. And then when I watch it again, I'm like, oh yeah, this is delightful. I'm enjoying myself. Like I'm having a really good time right now, which is
Yeah, I
kind of what
realized.
happened.
He says kind of what happened.
Yeah, even though I was like kind of like I don't want to watch this right now because it's still November and Dallas, I kind of side with you. I don't typically start doing Christmassy things until like after Thanksgiving is over.
As you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's so early. I don't really want to watch The Grinch yet, but I was watching it and I was like, I'm having such a good time. Like I said, the humor is great. Jim Carrey is just super funny. I was talking about how much Christine Baranski's character makes me laugh earlier. It's just so funny.
Also, this movie made me attracted to a Who, and that was weird, and I didn't like it.
Was it was
Martha?
it Christine
Yes, it
Baranski?
was.
Yeah, I would hope it to that one of all the Who's.
That's the only acceptable answer.
Yeah, that's the only acceptable answer, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, I was watching. I was like, "Yo,
She was
she's
like a lot of people's sexual awakenings,
she kind
probably.
of bad."
It was,
But
I
she's
mean,
a
it's just
Who.
the nose, right?
I don't know. They're like they have snouts and
I don't
something.
know. They remind me of like mice.
I think the nose is the only thing that they hardcore change up.
Yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
they have weird faces.
Yeah. If it wasn't for her face, I would be like, ooh, but
What if
not
it
into it.
wasn't for her face?
Yeah, it just wasn't for what she looked like.
Just the face, because the rest of her is like, hey,
Hey, oh,
what's
and
she
it's
doing?
the teeth a little bit
That's fair.
because
Maybe, yeah.
they do
Oh yeah,
stuff.
because they also do like really big teeth in the front.
Yeah,
So Gabby, you draw the line at Who's.
Dallas,
Yes,
Dallas, don't start this.
I'm just saying
also,
like there are
No,
other non-human things that you've been
stop it.
down for.
Stop it now.
What were you saying
you
to
know
me?
what? For Christine Baranski, I don't actually think they changed much about her face, which is probably why. Because her teeth are still kind of normal looking, and her nose is almost still normal looking too.
Yeah, they didn't go all out with the goofy Susical look for her,
Yeah, they were
which is
like, your
fair.
nose has to be, yeah, your nose has to be slightly different, but we're not going to give you the buck teeth look.
I think they wanted us to be attracted to Martha May.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Like that character is supposed to be, she's the thirsty character.
Yeah, and she's the thirst trap of Whoville.
Yeah, and like the mayor's attracted to her, and the Grinch also is attracted to her. Like, yeah, she's got to be you want her to be attractive,
I feel it. I
even
feel
even if the men going after her are not that attractive.
yeah, I feel vindicated. That's fair.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think you're weird for that. They did this on
Much
purpose.
appreciated. Yeah, that just it worked.
That was definitely the purpose.
They succeeded.
Hi, I'm back. I'm here.
Hi.
Hi,
Welcome
hi, hi,
back.
hi.
We finished the conversation we were having about
Okay.
Martha May and her attractiveness. But yeah, I think
Oh no.
What?
what?
I feel like this is gonna be bad for me.
No, no, no,
No,
no,
no,
it
no, no,
wasn't.
no,
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 no. This
no,
was
no,
like a
no.
legitimate like breakdown of why she's probably attractive.
Yeah,
Oh, can you do a quick recap for me?
I was saying that they didn't go hard on the makeup with her. Like her nose still looks like it's pretty normal, and they didn't give her like the buck teeth sort of thing. She it looks like she still has her regular teeth in these pictures, so they didn't go too hard. So I think they were trying to keep it so that she didn't look goofy. She was supposed to be attractive.
That makes sense.
They were like, we have to make you look like a who, but like we also don't want you to look weird.
We want people's attraction to you to not turn into like, am I into something? Is this awakened something within me? They didn't want
Yeah,
that.
unlike Lion King,
Yeah,
too. They didn't
we
want
don't wanna
Stop
throw a
it.
Kovu out there at you guys.
Stop.
or a Lola bunny.
Or a Lola Bunny,
Okay, let's move on.
Cartoon Fox from Robin Hood, a Nick Wilde from Zootopia.
Those types of things. They were trying to
Yeah.
avoid that.
I'm sure. Let's move on.
All right, guys. Well, that's all we've got for you guys today. That is our Throwback Thursday for How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it is. Thank you, audience, for listening to all of that and riding through Whoville with us.
This one was a little shorter than usual. Actually,
Yeah.
final thoughts from each of you guys.
On
just
the movie,
to sum up. Yeah, just to sum up.
it's cool. Jim Carrey is hilarious. Max is adorable. Martha May is a Christmas baddie. And
Christmas Batty. That's a good
yeah,
one.
shout out to Robin season.
Gabby, what are your final thoughts?
It's a Christmas classic that I like. It's a little bit off kilter, but I mean, I feel like off kilter Christmas classics tend to do well historically. Hashtag Nightmare Before Christmas. I think people are harsh with the Razzies. That was not cool. Why would you do that?
Yeah,
it's
some little
mean. They
whack
were just,
Razzies.
yeah. Like, I'll give you some of those movies, but not this one. I'll give you movie 43, but not this one.
Oh my god, that movie. Oh,
And my final thoughts are I love this movie. Like I said, I tend to watch it almost every Christmas. I got really excited when I found out it was on Netflix a couple of years ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, I absolutely have to watch it. So yeah, I'm coming to realize that I'm the one in the group who likes really silly, campy movies, which is weird. I didn't
That's not
anticipate that.
true. I think it depends on like if there's a nostalgic element to it, or if there's like some sort of like Hallmark kind of edge to it. Because I do also like campy
You like
things.
those though, but like I'm talking about like How the Grinch Stole Christmas type, Hocus Pocus. Like I'm
I
not.
like those too.
I needed you here last time, bro.
I'm so sorry. I was going through a personal crisis,
I needed you.
as usual for this year for myself.
All right, well
It's
then,
been
okay,
a
it's
good
me.
time.
It's me and Gabby. Thank God. I thought it was just me. I love this movie. I think it's super funny. I think it's perfect for the holidays. It's probably not actually for kids, but you know what? They're not going to
Whatever, Chloe.
understand
They
those
can't
jokes.
tell. Those jokes are for us, man.
They're not going to know until they get older, just like us. But yeah,
Sure.
that's all we've got for you guys today. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yes, thank you as always. As always, thank you, Crown Digital, Brandon, and Io for putting us on that Spotify, that Apple podcast. Thank you to me for editing, putting us on YouTube, justifying my Martha May attraction with logic and such.
I got you.
Thank you. Gabby, thank you for showing up. You've been gone for a minute.
Thanks.
Thank you for
I missed you
scheduling.
so much.
Yeah,
Oh,
we appreciate you
I
scheduling your
missed you guys too.
personal tragedies in the way that you can make this one.
Thanks. I'll try to keep doing that.
Colin said he missed you on the podcast too, and then he decided not to be in this one. So
Oh, wow, wow.
Yeah, Colin, if you're listening, you a hoe. That's it.
Dallas.
What?
where can they find us on the
That's
medias?
me.
Yes, if you want to talk to us about Christmas, hitting licks, who's what,
Or
who
how we
dang.
no longer have to deal with President Trump starting in January.
True. Yes, if you want to talk to us about,
If you just want to
That.
sing fuck Donald Trump to each other.
yes, tweet us the song because I've been tweeting it every day for like the past week. Anyway, you can find us on the medias: Twitter, y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr, Creative Differences Podcast, and Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at A King Named Simba. Look for the YG Nipsey Hussle song on my Twitter feed.
You can find me, Gabby, on the Instagrams at Stegosoria. Please send me that song. Please tag me in all of your anti-Trump memes. Thank you.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled DREEMI. Thanks again for joining us.
And if you want to, you could find Colin on Twitter at 9.5-inch pole.
Or you can find him on his burner account at The Grinch.
That fits. That fits too.
Or his real account. At
No, we don't do that here.
Oh no. Okay, never
We don't
mind.
do that here. It's been different.
It's been different. Bye.
Bye.